Today I will be like fully transparent and giving you the whole sauce, the whole like formula on how I will make things happen. The reason why I'm making this video is because like you will see in front of you, like in the following videos, all my life, how much my life is changing, because I have big goals for um, achieving things before the end of May 2026. So I want to make my life like totally change in the next 11 months. We are currently the 30 of June 2025. I always struggled to say dates in English, but you have the idea. So we are end of June 2025, and by May 2026, I want my life to have fully changed. And the way I'm making it is by first working on my mind, because I have the deep belief that for making big changes in your life, everything's come from the inside. Everything comes from the inside. I know it because 5 years ago, when I was 15, I started to do shadow work and introspection. And by doing that, it changed for the first time everything for me. And it really put the basis for everything else in my life. So the next 5 years after that, so from 15 to now 20, everything that happened in my life was happening because of my internal thoughts and because of the work I did when I was 15. So during those 5 years, I was really brained and set depending on the beliefs I had at this precise moment, which were like pretty good beliefs. It really allowed me to start working on many things, to start to have confidence, to attract very healthy relationship, to have very healthy base and fundamentals. But now I really feel that I'm entering a new season in my life, and I know that for entering a new season in my life, I need to fully rewire my subconscious and my brain and my deep down beliefs, because the things that I considered as normal will become my life, will become my standards, and will become my base for everything in my life. So I want to rewire what I consider as normal, what I consider that is totally normal to happen, for making it happening in my life. So I'm making this video to show you exactly what I do, because when you will see in May 2026 everything that I achieved, I don't want people to have only the outcome, only the visible side of the iceberg. I want people to see that and to come back in my old videos, so basically this one, to see exactly how I did, because it's exactly what I do with other people. When I see a very successful person on the internet, the thing that I want to the thing that I'm listening to are not the things that they're currently saying. I'm trying to come back in their old videos and try to understand how they were thinking in those very first steps, because this is the point I'm currently into. So I need to have exactly those first steps to, after that, step into what they're saying. So this video is one of those first steps. If you wonder how I achieved everything I did like in 1 year, you will know a huge part in this video. So as I told you, everything comes from the brain. So what I did is that I'm currently rewiring all my deep down beliefs. And so I just like took a notebook. So for manifesting, the first thing that I wrote is, show me how effortless, quick and easy it can be. I'm a powerful manifester. I attract. So those are the first words I want to repeat myself. After that, I have a little list of exactly, not exactly, but the things I want to work on and the things that I feel that I'm triggered. So the things that, the areas in my life that I feel that I must like rewire my brain. So I have money, beauty, body, social media, and the fact that I want to live from my passions, my partner, the gaze of other people around me, and my scarcity mindset, everything that is like reminding me of lack. So those things are the current things that I felt that I was triggered a lot. So I felt that I need like some rewiring. And the first thing that you can take from that is that you will know what you need to rewire and what you need to work on yourself by watching your triggers, by watching what you're currently noticing about other people and what you're currently like noticing and feel in response to what is happening externally. Why do I know that I need to work on my beliefs, on my own beauty and body? Just because I noticed that I feel triggered in many situations about my body. Just because when I see a very pretty girl, the first thing I think about is, oh my god, I will never be like that. I will never be the pretty girl. That's a trigger. That's something that is like a flag in front of your eyes that is saying, something has to be worked on. And it's exactly the same thing on all of those subjects. Like I felt some kind of triggers at some point on all of those subjects. So I know that I need to work on it. Actually, not almost, but I did like already more than half of this first notebook only on money. And I know that I haven't finished like rewiring my brain on money. So it really depends on your system, but I know that for me, when I do like one subject, I do a lot. So what I did like currently is on money. So I just started by writing everything that triggers me and all my limiting beliefs. At first, when you will start the work, maybe you feel that you have nothing to say, but when you start to actually notice things that are limiting beliefs, the more you start to notice those things, the more you will notice new ones. So I was just writing about my goals. Oh, actually, the very, very good blueprint and way of noticing and releasing and making things happen for you is this method, this step by step. The first thing you will do for really like for making everything happens, I don't even know why I say the things you should do. I'm just like presenting to you what I'm doing, and in the following month, if you see that it's working, it means that it's a good way of doing. So I'm not being a teacher, I'm being a mirror here. So there is my own method, what I do for making things happening for me. The first thing I do is being very, very, very delusional about the things that I want. So I'm very delusional and I write everything that I want. First thing. When I write the things that I want, I'm being very, very clear and precise on what I want. I'm not being like, something like, for example, if you want to make money, you're not saying, oh, I want to make money. No, you're saying, I want to make 10K consistently every month since May 2026 or since next month. This is something precise. This is something that you know when it's achieved and when it's not. This is what it means. Being very clear and detailed and delulu about everything you're asking, everything that you want. That's the first step. Second step is when I write like all those things, I get triggered so much. When I'm saying, oh, I want to make 10K, I'm triggered. I'm actually like, all my ideas and thoughts come to me being like, are you serious? Like, you're asking for too much. It's not possible. It's too soon. Like, I have many things and limiting beliefs that comes in my mind. So when you write everything that you want in your life, for money, relationships, career, passions, everything, you will write at the same time. So you have a page for your goals. On the other page, when you're writing everything, I was writing at the same time the limiting beliefs that comes in my mind, the things that triggers me. So once I did like all my delusion parts of setting everything I want to achieve, the second step is to actually like work on my blocks and start to work on those limiting beliefs that I firstly noticed. So it's very like a logical progression for me. So actually when I was like writing everything that I want to achieve in the next 11 months, I noticed so many limiting beliefs that when I started to work on them, it gets so easy because I already had a list of like 10 limiting beliefs on specifically money, so I can start very easily. So I started to write like the limiting beliefs, and I had like also a color code. For the orange are the limiting beliefs, so you know I have a lot. And when I actually release those beliefs and try to create a new positive narrative, I do it in green. And if I have things like technical things that I want to implement, like techniques and things that I want to try, I write them in gray. I highlight them in gray, so I have my little color code. So, as I told you, I try to work on those limiting beliefs. So the first thing I do is writing this limiting belief. And the way I release those limiting beliefs is by actually asking myself every time, why? Where does it come from? Why? And every time I dive more and more and more. And the way I'm doing it is by feeling when I feel a negative emotion, when I feel something negative, I feel that I want to avoid something, I feel that I have some fear about what I'm saying, about what I'm thinking, I go exactly in this space. I fear in this space, I try to avoid. And every time I dive more and more and more, and at some point it will just like get released and I will feel okay. I just released it. I'm not fearing it anymore because I faced it. I allowed it to go through me. I really recognized it. So now I don't fear it anymore. That's exactly what it is. For giving an example of it, I think that many of my limiting beliefs came from the fact that my very deep down fear is to be homeless. And you will feel that it's very extreme, but actually when I start by a limiting belief that is I cannot earn money, ton shit of money from doing what I love, the more I question myself, why do I fear that? Why do I think that? Why? At the end, like the very deep down fear is that I fear being homeless. That's the last stage of fear. And because of this fear will be expressed in very different ways. So the way I'm doing it is that starting by the surface, what is visible, and the more I dive, the more I go into the roots and into the main, like the first cause of it. So I arrived at the conclusion that many of my limiting beliefs comes from this fear, and I really faced it. I recognized it. I was like, okay, I jump into this fear, I dive into it. what if? What if I'm homeless? And then it's so uncomfortable. So fucking uncomfortable and hard because it's my deep down fear. So it's not easy at all. But I imagine, I'm like, okay, let's say that tomorrow I lose everything. Tomorrow I have no money, I have no parents, I have nothing anymore. Nothing, not an apartment, nothing. What will happen? What will happen? And then I was like, just because I was not avoiding it anymore, but fully like recognizing it and embodying it, it was less, I was feeling less fear than what I was thinking I will feel when I will think of it. Is it clear or not? So when I was like really asking myself, okay, you have no money anymore. What do you do? I was like, okay, so actually if I have no money anymore, the first thing I will do is basically searching for any kind of job. I will just like enter every single restaurant, every single shop and asking for a job like right now. That's exactly what I will do. And I know that by doing that and having like no expectations at all, just taking the first job that I want, the first job that I can have, I will find a job like very easily. Because I already searched job like before for summer job, so I know that if I'm going to every single restaurant, I will get hired. I know it. In the matter of like one afternoon, I will find a job. Because I will have no conditions, I just want to make some money. So once I will have that, it will be like very easy for me to just have an apartment, a very, very shitty apartment. Let's say that I will pay like 300 euros per month. I know that I can find those apartments in my city. If I have a very basic salary in France and I have this very basic apartment in my city, I can live. I know that I will not die. That's the final like word, like the final fear is not being homeless. The final fear is dying, basically. So by putting myself, imagining myself in this situation of having no money anymore and being like, okay, what will happen? I know that I will have a basic salary, a basic apartment, but my basic needs will be addressed. I know that I will not die. So I know now, deep down, I'm not fearing anymore of losing everything because I know now, deep down, that if tomorrow I lose everything, I can still address all my basic needs. And from this very bottom part, I can build things again. And I can try again and again until I succeed. So that's the kind of things that is the process. I took this example, but I had like those kinds of realization, like maybe 10 times like this type of realization in different ways, just because of money and just because of limiting beliefs. And it's so powerful because you come from a place that you try to avoid things to actually facing it, and then a very positive and hope narrative will replace this fear. So now I'm so free from this fear because I fully did the work, and it was not easy. I was crying like so much. I wanted to scream. I wanted to punch something. I was so scared. So scared, and it was so uncomfortable to dive into it, but it's so necessary. So it's a process that I've been like very not comfortable, but very used to do because I already did it like many times 5 years ago. And it's so powerful to do. Another thing that was very powerful to me to release from those money triggers and everything is the validation of my parents. The fucking validation of my parents, especially my dad. When I did like all this shadow work thing, many things were coming from the fact that I'm searching for the validation of my parents. And I think it's something that we can all relate to. We want to make our parents proud of us. We want to see our parents like giving validation to us because it's the way that human works. It's the way that we are supposed to survive. So it's something that is so deep down that it was like very hard to address and very hard to face. But once I realized it, I did like few things to liberate myself from it. One of the things was to write a letter to my dad, saying that, okay, I'm not your little girl anymore. I'm not defining myself and identifying myself as your little girl anymore. I'm a woman. I'm an independent 20-year-old woman, and I'm able to do my choices based on what I want first and not based on what you want first. And then when I did like this thing, I took the letter, burned it, and now I feel like so, so, how do you say that? Relieved. Truly felt a difference of, okay, in the past days, I haven't searched that much the validation of my dad or my parents as I did before. Doesn't mean that you will not be tested anymore. Doesn't mean that those fears will not come back anymore. But you will feel that these addressing fears were the bottom part of it, and now it will only increase. Now you are in the good way, in the good journey. The journey will still like have some downs, but the overall dynamic will just increase. You will really feel it. So it's just like releasing all those things is very powerful. What else do I wanted to say? So what I did, what I did was all of that. It took me like pages and pages and pages and pages and pages to do it, and I still know that I haven't fully released everything, but I did a huge part on the money side. Be ready to cry. Be really ready to cry. Oh yeah, something very powerful that I did, and something that I saw from I think her name is Jamie C, something like that. She's doing videos on TikTok and Instagram about how to release blocks, money blocks that you have in your mind. And something she was sharing that was actually like very powerful was to actually change the way you call money and the way you call money, to find another word that is like more associated with the ideas you want to have about money. For example, for me in French, money is argent, and for me argent has like very very negative like things associated with it, because it means like hardworking, it means like bad. Like in my mind, money was associated to bad energies. People who were rich were bad people. I had like all those limiting beliefs that I addressed. So I wanted to change my mind on argent, and I wanted to find another way of calling it. And something that is really appealing to me is honey. So now I'm not calling money anymore. I'm calling money honey. And it's I don't know if you see how much it makes a difference. It's like even when I pronounce it, it's very like it sounds almost like the same, but in my head it's totally different. For me, honey is something positive, something sweet, something enjoyable, something that comes easily, something that is very positive. You want to smile when you say honey. Like it can be the way you call your partner, your darling. So for me, now I'm calling money honey. And something else that I needed to change the name was working. So in French, working is travail, travailler. And it's also something that was like associated very negatively in my mind. So I just decided to not call it travail anymore, work anymore. I just decided to call it flow, because it's exactly the idea that I want to have about how I will make money. I know that I will make money by flowing, by doing the things that I like, by truly stepping into the things that I like and just flowing in all my genius parts and the parts that I really like about myself and just being myself. So money is honey, and work is flow. And it makes such a huge difference. It's something like very, very powerful. I'm trying to figure out like if I did something else very powerful to change the narratives. So yeah, then as I told you, now that we are in the part of doing like trying to find like new positive narratives, what I did was, of course, for all the negative thoughts that I had before, all the negative beliefs that I had before, I created a positive opposite narrative to now like repeat them to myself and to create a new narrative. Because once you released a very negative thoughts, you have to replace it with something. You cannot like just release it and not like create a positive narrative to repeat yourself instead of the negative one. So I just like did a bunch list of the things to repeat myself, and now I know that every single morning I'm repeating those to myself, and when I repeat them, I try to calm myself, to be in a place of safety, to feel that I'm relaxed, secure, and I'm taking those things in a place that is very calm. And I try to feel, of course, that when I'm saying those, like I still feel triggered. When I say that I'm earning 10K per month, I'm like, whoosh, like feeling very triggered. But when I feel triggered, I keep repeating slowly those affirmations. I'm making 10K in May. I'm making 10K in May. And I try to feel it in a place of abundance, in a place of love, in a place of I'm relaxed, I'm calm, to just like change the narrative about it. So that's what I did. And the last thing I did was actually having a page about money. I don't know if you see it well. It's a double page about exactly how I want money to feel for me, how I want money to be associated in my mind. Because when I was thinking about money at first, you have like, I had very negative like images that came in my mind, like very cold world, very like, yeah, negative things. So I wanted to make it enjoyable. I want to change that and make money in my head visually pleasant and enjoyable. So I just took images from Pinterest of things that for me were calling honey energy, honey money, positive energy, and just took them and created this page for just like showing to my brain money is safe, money is easy, money is enjoyable. It is exactly how money and honey is feeling for you. So I have like, for me, green is very associated to money, and green is also associated to my dream life because I want to live in nature in a very sustainable way. So associating money and sustainability is also something very important for me, to change the narrative about money and the fact that money is negative. So yeah, just like some money, some green, some honey, a lot of honey. I have some bees, and I actually took my bank accounts in screenshots and changed the numbers on my bank account on my available balance, to just like fully visualize that I have 10K on my during this month, and I already made 50K in this year. It's exactly how it's working, and by saying it I feel triggered, so I will continue to work on it. So yeah, that's the final thing I did to heal my relationship with money. And something else I will do this afternoon is actually writing a letter to money. So for me, to honey, to try to heal the relationship in a very like in a very imaginative way, of writing a letter to it and being like, I'm so grateful for you because you allows me to have everything. You allows me to la la la. And I will also write things that I was thinking about you and the things that I think now about you. And I think it's also something very, very powerful. So I will write to money as it is a person, as it is now my best friend, my soulmate, and now being so grateful to money and honey for coming so easily and abundantly in my life. So yeah, that's the sauce. That's the full process of how I'm actually like rewiring my brain precisely for money, but you can do it for every other subjects, and it will be exactly the same blueprints and the same step by step and the same techniques that I will use for all those different areas in my life, not only money but everything else. So yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed watching this video. And if you have like crazy techniques to tell me to actually manifest things, give me the tea, because as you saw, like I'm fully open to like crazy techniques, and I really want to see like crazy shit results. So I want to try like everything that is very powerful to rewire my brain and to really manifest things into my life. So if you have crazy techniques, just tell me in the comments. And I will see you tomorrow for another video. So if you liked it, follow. And yeah, if you want to see if in 2026 I'm achieving everything that you saw here, just follow, because I want to be the living proof that it's possible. And this video is actually like the first video to prove and to document my journey, because when I will achieve all those things, I want you to see exactly how I did step by step. So if you want to grow at the same time as me, just follow and we will grow together and evolve together. So yeah, see you. Bisous.